Hi, my name is Special Smellikar, and today we're going to be going over task number 071 Charlie Oscar Mike 0801, challenging persons entering your area. Okay, so some safety considerations before we begin the class. If there's any severe weather, which we may have some for this week, there are storm shelters nearby, or you would go into the house, or you go into a low-lying ditch if it's a tornado. Be aware of there is loose gravel around here. There's also giant stones that you will trip over, and there is a hill over here to the right. So y'all be aware of that, okay? Okay. So the task is challenging persons entering area. Condition is you are a member of a squad or team providing security for your unit in a field environment. You have your assigned weapon, individual protective equipment, and the current challenge and password. Okay, so remember, every day you may get a new challenge and a new password. So make sure that you are up to date on all of that for all your team, okay? An unknown person or persons is approaching your area. Standard. Detect and challenge all approaching personnel. Prevent compromise of password. Allow personnel protectively identified as friendly to pass and disarm, detain, and report personnel not positively identified. The equipment that you would normally use that we will not be using out here because we do not have access to it right now is our J's List equipment, because most of this requires you to do it in MOP 4 gear, but obviously we will not be doing that today. You will also have your protective vest, your Kevlar, and your assigned weapon, okay? Now we're going to go into the performance portion. Okay, so performance steps. Step 1, detect all persons entering your area, okay? So that means that you need to be situationally aware, that you need to not be asleep, not be on your phones if you have it, none of that. You need to be aware and maintain full view of your sector. You cannot have any compromise in your sectors, okay? So you also need to know all of your sectors. Everybody has to have that, okay? Step 2, challenge an individual that enters your area. Cover the individual with your weapon without disclosing your position. This means you will be hiding, okay? When you are hiding, you are only saying things loud enough for him. You are not to give away your position, because if you have other people with you, it could compromise you and them, okay? If they're unfriendlies, that could cost you and your battle buddy their lives. So your job is to remain hidden and get the message across, okay? Okay. Command the individual to halt before they are close enough to pose a threat, okay? Note, command and questions must be loud enough to be heard by the individual and not by others in the immediate area. Command should be repeated as necessary. So in low light hours, this is very, very helpful for you. Halt, again, you're not screaming it for everyone else to hear. You're only doing it so that that person can hear you. If that person can hear you, then they respond accordingly. If they just don't halt, keep repeating it 3 times. I do ask, tell, make. Okay? So 3 times, halt, halt, halt. If they're not halting, okay? Okay. Ask who is there. Just loud enough, again, for the individual to hear you. Note, the individual should reply with an answer that best describes them. Example, Sergeant Jones. Hey, Sergeant Jones here. Okay? So make sure that, again, you hear them, they hear you. If they cannot hear you or you cannot hear their response, repeat the question. Then they should know to kick it up a notch with their volume a little bit. Okay? Order the individual to advance to be recognized. This simply means that you want to see them, okay? You want them to come closer so you can see them. You've seen their silhouette, but you haven't seen their uniform. You haven't seen any potential weapons. You can't see anything, especially in low light hours or downrange or in the field. If you're doing these exercises, you may not be able to see them very well. You'll just see the shape of the silhouette of them, okay? Continue to keep individual covered without exposing yourself. Again, do not take your weapon or your eyes off this individual, okay? Do not stand up. Do not shout. Don't, hey, I'm here. Nothing like that, okay? Order the individual to halt when they are within 2 to 3 meters from your position, okay? So that simply means do not let them get right up on you, and then you're like, okay, halt, that's close enough. No. You have to be able to have some distance to react should something happen and they not be friendlies, okay? So you have to have that distance, but you have to be able to see them, and if you can't see them, that's when we're going to get into these next questions that you need to start asking, okay? The individual should be halted at a location that provides protection to you and prevents them from escaping if they are deemed unfriendly. Okay, so the area that we are in right now, there is nothing but a drop down hill on the right side. There is a cul-de-sac on the left side, and behind me, this would be like if I was hiding here, this would be my AO. And the only other thing behind them is where they came from, the woods. Okay, so their chances of escape are very little and very, very slim to none at this point, okay? So your job is to make sure that they have no way out except for through you or back the way they came. And either way, you're going to get them, right? Issue the challenge in a low voice. So, example, let's say you like peanut butter and jelly, right? Peanut butter and jelly is your challenge. Or Boston. People like Boston and beans. Boston Red Sox. Okay? You need to come up, make sure that you guys understand your challenge and password. So what you do is you give it in a sentence. Do not just say it unless situation dictates, but you will give a sentence. Or, so for Boston, let's go, how about them Boston Red Sox? Oh, I like Boston beans. Beans being your password, okay? But again, only say these things loud enough for them to hear you and you to hear them. No one else should be able to hear your conversation, okay? Determine if the individual is friendly based upon their return of correct password or your situational awareness. Now, what that means is, say Private Joe Snuffy's walking through and, oops, I forgot today's password because it changes every day, which does happen. Then you start asking them questions about your unit. Ask them questions about their leadership so you can identify that they are, in fact, friendly. Now, you may know me, I'm not good with names, but I'm good with faces. So if you're good with faces and you say, okay, yeah, I know that that person's in my unit, let me make sure and double check myself before I wreck myself. It is better for you to ask those questions. Who's your LT? Who's your first sergeant? Who's your first sergeant? Okay, who's your platoon sergeant? Who's your squad leader? Oh, you're the squad leader, okay? Well, who's in charge of you? Okay, who are some members of your team? Something like that, okay? So you guys have to make sure that you're asking those questions should they not remember the password, because it does happen. People do forget the password, especially when you're given like 6 a day, okay? Detain an individual that has returned an incorrect password or cannot positively identify as friendly. Now, I like to repeat the question again. So I like to give my sentences, I like to give 2 chances, okay? Just in case, oh crap, that was yesterday's password, today's password is this. Okay, you got another chance to fix yourself. If you can't fix yourself, well, now you're being detained, okay? Now we're going to go into the process of what you need to do in order to detain them, okay? So, to detain them, you need to direct the individual to disarm. This means drop your weapon. Push it away from you. You don't want them to have any contact with that weapon at all, okay? Drop your weapon. Push it away from you, all right? Notify your chain. Hey, this is what I have. Chain of command needs to know what you have at all times. That, again, keeps safety for you, for your personnel, for everyone else, okay? So make sure that you know and let them know what you got. Hey, this is what I got. Can you come down here? Or I need further guidance. You will not do anything. Take all commands from the tower, okay? So you will await instructions from your command. Now, we're going to go into challenging a group, which is a little bit different, but not very. It's the same concept, but it's a little bit different, okay? When you're challenging a group, note, these procedures and precautions are similar for those of challenging a single person, okay? Because when you're challenging a group, you will also be, you will only be talking to one person from that group, okay? No one else. You'll be talking to that one person from that one group, okay? Again, you will come up. You will tell them to halt when they enter your area. Halt. And you will give the command, who's there? Just loud enough to be heard by the group, okay? Now, when you're talking to the group and telling them to halt, and you're asking who's there. Only one person should answer you, not 6 people, because otherwise it gets jumbled and it's very difficult, okay? So make sure that you guys have a designated person to speak. Should you come across somebody else's AO, you have one designated leader, okay? Just one person to speak. Reply should be clearly identified as a group. Example, friendly patrol. Okay, so if I'm on patrol and I come through Claire's AO, okay, she's gonna look at me and she's gonna be like, who's there? All right, friendly patrol. She's gonna be like, well, I don't really know that. All right, now we're gonna start with, now you're gonna have them advance, that group leader and that group leader only, okay? Order the group leader, again, the group leader to move forward, advance to be recognized. So again, that means, so you can see them, and they cannot see you, but you can see them and have a positive identification, and you can also talk to them within that distance without being overheard or screaming, okay? Continue to keep group leader covered without exposing yourself. Now also, if you have a buddy with you, make sure that that buddy's watching what that group is doing while that group leader is coming to you, okay? Your eyes are on them, but your peripherals are on your buddy, and your buddy or on that group. If it's just you, your peripherals on that group, because what that group does is if they're unfriendly, they can attack you very, very quickly. It's not going to take them long to try to figure it out, okay? So we want this done quickly and very, very, very fast and efficient, okay? The group leader should be, okay, so order the group leader to halt when the individual is within 2 to 3 meters from your position. Again, just enough so they can hear you, you can hear them, and if light permits, you're able to see who they are and their uniform and possibly the name tapes, whatever you can see. That's where situational awareness comes in. Note, the group leader should be halted at a location that provides protection to you and prevents the leader from escaping if they are deemed unfriendly. Sounds familiar, right? Issue the challenge to only the group leader. Do not shout your challenge so the whole group can hear you, okay? This is why it's important that you designate one group leader, one person to speak. That's it, one person to speak. Note, the group leader should be halted at a location that provides protection to you and prevents the leader from escaping if deemed unfriendly, okay? Don't forget that, it's very important. Issue the challenge to the group leader. Note, you may ask questions that only a friendly person should be able to answer correctly. Now, that comes into play if that group leader forgot that password. Don't start asking a bunch of personal random questions that they should know. Oh, what's our mission for today? Okay, don't start just asking that. Give them the chance to issue their password. Give them challenge and password, okay? It's very, very important. And that's only used in case they forgot your password and they got it mixed up, because again, there's like 6 given to you guys. Determine if the group leader is friendly based upon the return of correct response or your situational awareness. So, I know Private Joe Snuffy, right? But I know him from his group leader. I know who our first sergeant is, right? He's in the same company. I can see his face. I know he's in our company, right? So he will then give me all of his information that I need from him. So, hey, who's your first sergeant? Hey, what's today's mission and task? Okay, what's your standards for today? Well, what are y'all supposed to be doing today? All right, it should be very quick response. Who's your LT? What platoon are you in? Simple things, just simple things. It's going to give you a quick, simple response. Nothing big, nothing heavy, nothing that requires you to have like 6 different sentences and try to respond with this, because you shouldn't be having a full-blown conversation. It should be just a question, answer, done, out, they're gone, okay? Direct the group leader to direct the group leader to remain with you to assist in identifying group members if you are determined he or she is friendly. Now what that means is I'm not gonna tell that group leader, I'm not gonna give up my position still. I'm still gonna keep my rifle on this group leader. What I want that group leader to do is I want him to stay there and tell his guys, hey, it's okay. And I want him to physically identify them, okay? How many packs you got? Because when he answers correct, like if he gives me the correct password, right? Private Joe Snuffy, okay, beans. Great. I now have the password. How many packs you have? Okay, he says, I got 3 packs. Well, there's 6 people behind you. Okay, so just be aware that you need to make sure that he understands how many people he has, because that group leader is accountable for every person in that squad, okay, or in that team, that group. So you have to make sure that you ask him, how many packs do you have? Okay, great. So what you're going to do is, as he's identifying these people, you're going to be counting. How many packs he told you, that's how many people you're going to count. All right, anybody beyond that, he's not taking responsibility for those people. So if you miscounted, I highly, highly, highly suggest you recount, okay? Accountability. It's very, very, very important, okay? Now, detain any individual in the group that is not recognized by the group leader by disarming them or having them wait until your chain of command provides additional instructions. Now, they could have been lost. They got lost and separated from the group, and they just tagged along with this group. Well, maybe that group leader didn't know that. And, hey, I am a friendly. Okay, cool. I forgot the password. Okay, cool. I just got here. I'm new. I don't know really anybody. I just kind of got thrown into this. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call my chain of command. Hey, this is what I have. They say that they're so-and-so and so-and-so. So you're giving that commander or that first sergeant or whoever's in charge that chance to vouch for that soldier, okay? If they can't vouch for them, guess what? You're detaining them, right? You've got them detained. Now they're going off to a secure location where they can't be of any issue to you or your guys, right? Direct the group leader to vouch for positively identified members as they pass your flank. So again, keep counting. Detain the group leader if not positively identified as a friendly. All right? Now, there are steps to doing this, and this is where you kind of have to be careful, because if you're detaining a group leader that's entering your AO and his group now sees you, oh man, they got our leader, we got a problem, they may want to react to that. So you have to be very, very careful with that. And this is where situational awareness, your peripherals, and your battle buddy, if you have one with you, which you should, your battle buddies need to be watching, okay? Because their reaction is going to dictate what you're going to do next, okay? Shoot, move, communicate. We don't want to shoot, right? I'm not trying to shoot my friendlies, but they get up and rally, you know. Do what you have to do to go home, okay? Direct the individual to disarm. Drop your weapon. Push it away from you, okay? You should have no contact with that weapon. Drop your weapon. Kick it away, all right? Simple. Direct him or her to inform their group to wait. Hey, tell your buddies to stay over there. Tell your buddies to stay over there. Tell them to wait. If you're fine, tell them to wait. Okay? Hey man, wait. Don't move. Cool. Notify your chain of command. Sir, ma'am, first sergeant, this is what I got. Okay? Take all commands from the tower. Do not do your own thing. Take all commands from the tower. Await instructions from your chain of command. Again, take all commands from the tower. Alright? So, now you've had your classroom portion, so we're going to go into the evaluation portion of this, okay? So, the evaluation. Provide the soldiers with equipment and materials that are described in the conditions and statements. Okay? So, I done told you we don't have those things, but I still want you to do them as if you did have those things. Okay? So again, hiding, arms up, that's your weapon today, okay? Tell the soldier what is expected of them. So, again, you are expected to have a secure position that allows you to be able to see your sector. Everybody's going to have their own sector. And you're going to have, let's say, Claire, you're going to have this side. Benton, you're going to have that side. Okay? Cologne, you're going to have that side. Or back behind me. Okay? So it is important that you know your sectors. All right? And what you're going to do is one of you is going to do the hiding. The other one is going to come through and try to get into the AO. Now, be aware, because I'm going to tell that person different things. So that if they may come in your AO, they may be cooperative. They may be non-friendly. They may be uncooperative. They may not care, okay? So you need to make sure that you're doing this right and accurately, okay? So make sure you have all your stuff. So I'm going to give you a second to go ahead. We're going to line up here, and we're going to make sure that everybody has all of their equipment. So again, your Jay's List, your weapon, your Kevlar, and your protective vest, okay? So I'm just going to, we'll do a quick check, make sure everybody has what they need, okay? So we all have what we need, correct? Again, this is your weapon. All right, you're going to simulate you have these things, okay? So now what I want to happen, again, your password and your challenge. Each one of you, each group will get a different one, okay? So Claire, your challenge is Boston and beans. Your challenge is peanut butter and jelly. And Glenn, you will have chicken and Popeyes because that's one that you guys all agreed on, okay? So, now, again, you're going to challenge every person that enters into your AO, okay? Make sure that they give you the correct password the correct way. If not, you will take actions accordingly, okay? Okay, so remember your evaluation steps. Remember to say halt and assume that the person has halted. Make sure you say who is there, give your commands, ask your questions, advance to be recognized. Make sure you say that, because if they don't come to you and you can't see them and you just, okay, you're good, no, that's a no-go, okay? Maintain your concealed position, issue the challenge, permit to pass the password is correct, disarm if applicable, okay? And if still in doubt, ask questions further, okay? So if you're not sure that they are friendly and they've given you the correct password, but maybe they overheard it, start asking questions about the unit, okay? Use your common sense and your situational awareness and your experience, okay? So, all right. So I'm going to give you 20 minutes to accomplish this task, okay? Okay, time's complete. This group was a no-go. You didn't remain concealed, and your challenge and password was incorrect, okay? And you didn't act accordingly when given the wrong password. So that means you are a no-go. So retrain. Retrain will be held at building 2220 at 9 o'clock on Monday in the classroom, and we'll go over the portion again, okay? And you'll be doing that on Thursday, this Thursday, okay? On the 14th, okay? Any questions? There are no questions this time. This concludes my class.